The world of stop-motion animation has always existed in a strange limbo between wonder and unease. There's something deeply unsettling about lifeless figures being moved frame by frame to mimic life, something almost unnatural, hypnotic, and at times, horrifying. While most audiences associate the medium with children's movies or quirky comedies, these films prove that stop motion can be far darker, weirder, and more psychologically disturbing than anyone expects. Today, we'll dive deep into 10 bizarre and terrifying stop motion movies you absolutely must see, each one a descent into handcrafted madness. 10. Club of the Laid Off, 1989. Created in the dying years of the Cold War by Czech animator Jiří Bárta, Club of the Laid Off is a haunting allegory told through decaying puppets and industrial ruins. The story follows a group of abandoned mannequins who reawaken in an empty factory, desperately trying to rebuild their forgotten world. Their movements are jerky, uncertain, a chilling reflection of post-industrial despair. The grim visuals, made entirely from found objects and rusted materials, evoke a sense of loss and futility. Without a single word of dialogue, the film speaks volumes about the collapse of human ambition and the emptiness left behind by modernization. Watching it feels like peering into the corpse of a civilization that once dreamed of progress. 9. The Pied Piper, 1986. This surreal Czech adaptation of the classic legend is unlike any version you've seen before. Directed by Jiří Bárta once again, The Pied Piper transforms the familiar fairy tale into a grotesque parable about greed, corruption, and moral decay. The stop-motion puppets look almost carved from nightmares, twisted wooden faces that barely resemble humans. The town of Hamelin is portrayed as a filthy, claustrophobic maze of greed and rot, with rats scurrying through its decaying streets. When the mysterious Piper arrives, his flute doesn't just lead the rats away, it becomes a weapon of judgment. The film's shadowy textures, grimy lighting, and near-silent tension create an atmosphere that's more akin to a medieval horror film than a children's story. It's haunting, brilliant, and unforgettable. 8. The Dunwich Horror and Other Stories, 2007. Adapted from H.P. Lovecraft's tales, this Japanese stop-motion anthology plunges into cosmic dread using puppetry and miniature sets. Unlike flashy CGI or modern horror, this film thrives on texture, the feel of rough clay, jagged lighting, and the grain of the film itself. The eerie narration, paired with meticulously crafted sets of decrepit towns and monstrous gods, gives each story the tone of an ancient myth retold in whispers. There's something inherently disturbing about seeing Lovecraft's universe, usually described as unseeable, brought to life in such tangible form. Every movement, every flicker of shadow feels wrong in just the right way. It's not just horror. It's the uncanny made visible.
生後8ヶ月が過ぎる頃には完全な一人歩きができるようになり、ハロウィンの夜には炎の上がるセンティネルの丘の頂上。
7. One Night in One City, 2007. From the Czech Republic comes one of the strangest stop-motion films ever created. One Night in One City is a dark, surreal mosaic of urban nightmares intertwining the lives of bizarre characters in a world that feels both human and monstrous. Every frame oozes with weirdness, fleshy puppets, distorted sets, and grotesque humor that teeters between absurd and disturbing. It's not easy to categorize, part horror, part black comedy, part fever dream. Yet, it's mesmerizing. The film's wordless storytelling pulls you through a labyrinth of twisted humanity, where loneliness and madness meet in eerie stop-motion motion. It's the kind of movie that leaves you wondering if you've dreamed it, or if it's been dreaming you. Six. Chuck Steele, Night of the Trampires, 2018. A wild, blood-soaked love letter to 1980s action and horror. Chuck Steele, Night of the Trampires takes the testosterone-fueled insanity of movies like Die Hard and Evil Dead 2 and cranks it to 11, in stop motion. The film follows Chuck Steele, a gruff cop with a tragic past, as he faces off against vampiric hobos. Yes, Trampires, in a neon-lit city of chaos. The sheer craftsmanship of the puppetry is jaw-dropping, with action sequences that rival live-action blockbusters. Yet beneath the absurdity lies a genuine affection for the era's excesses and cliches. It's loud, gory, ridiculous, and completely self-aware. Imagine Team America fused with Blade and Lethal Weapon, animated by someone who's clearly had too much caffeine, and you'll get close to Chuck Steele's glorious madness. Five. The Wolf House, 2018. A haunting masterpiece from Chile, The Wolf House blurs the line between stop-motion, surrealism, and psychological horror. The film reimagines the true story of Colonia Dignidad, a real-life cult in Chile, through a nightmarish fairy tale about a girl hiding inside a living, breathing house. The animation style constantly mutates, walls melt, puppets deform, objects come to life. It feels like a dream, decaying in real time. The film was shot over 5 years, using countless techniques: clay, paint, paper, wax, giving it an organic, constantly shifting texture. The Wolf House isn't just a film, it's a visual hallucination that traps you in its haunted mind. It's one of the most unsettling experiences ever captured through stop motion. Four. The House, 2022. This Netflix anthology brings 3 stories together under one roof. Literally. Each chapter follows a different set of characters who inhabit the same mysterious house across vastly different eras and realities. From a poor family seduced by the promise of wealth, to rats struggling with decay, to a surreal post-apocalyptic flood, the house explores obsession, greed, and decay with chilling precision. The craftsmanship is staggering. Soft textures and intimate lighting create a world that feels almost touchable. But it's the atmosphere that truly terrifies. Quiet dread, creeping madness, and existential despair wrapped in deceptively cozy visuals. It's the kind of horror that doesn't scream. It whispers, and it stays with you. Three. Blood Tea and Red String, 2006. A fairy tale for adults, and a deeply unsettling one. Blood Tea and Red String tells the story of forest creatures who craft a beautiful doll, only to have it stolen by aristocratic white mice. What follows is a strange odyssey filled with obsession, temptation, and violence. The film, entirely handmade over 13 years, is a triumph of independent animation. Its slow, dreamlike pacing and silent storytelling make it feel like an ancient fable unearthed from some forgotten world. Every frame looks painted in moss and moonlight, soaked in melancholy. Its stop motion is fine art, hypnotic, grotesque, and heartbreakingly beautiful. 2. Wendell and Wild, 2022. Henry Selick and Jordan Peele's collaboration. Wendell and Wild is a modern stop-motion marvel that combines humor, horror, and social commentary. The story follows two demon brothers as they attempt to harness dark powers in the real world, mixing grotesque characters with inventive, surreal visuals. The stop-motion animation is impeccably detailed, blending creepy Gothic design with fluid movement and expressive puppets. Themes of family, redemption, and morality are embedded within this absurdly funny yet chilling film, making it both entertaining and deeply unsettling. One. Mad God, 2021. Phil Tippett's Mad God is a cinematic descent into madness, the magnum opus of a visual effects legend who spent 30 years crafting this stop-motion apocalypse. The film has no traditional plot, just a journey through a decaying industrial hellscape where twisted creatures crawl, devour, and destroy one another in endless cycles of suffering. Every frame is alive with grotesque detail, machinery grinding flesh, smoke-filled ruins, creatures made from nightmare logic. Tippett's masterpiece is less a story and more an experience, a meditation on creation, decay, and insanity itself. Watching Mad God feels like staring into the subconscious of a god who has lost his mind. It's not just bizarre or terrifying, it's a vision of hell that only stop motion could bring to life. If you enjoyed this journey into the hidden corners of cinema, don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment sharing your thoughts, and most importantly, subscribe to Cinemira for more strange, forgotten, and fascinating films. Your support keeps this adventure alive. And trust me, there's so much more to discover together.